I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers stay as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peace.
All right, so today we're going to dive deep into A Course in Miracles. And, this isn't your typical spiritual text.
Right.
We're talking about teachings that were supposedly dictated to a psychologist
Oh, wow.
at Columbia University, no less.
Okay.
Her name was Helen Schucman, and she claimed the source was Jesus.
It definitely raises some eyebrows, right? You've got this skeptical scientist, working in this prestigious institution. Then she's receiving messages from Jesus.
Right, a clash of worlds.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It is. So Dr. Schucman worked with her colleague, Dr. William Thetford, from 1965 to 1972, documenting these messages, and that's how we got A Course in Miracles. But the unusual origin story is just the beginning, because the text throws another curveball. It uses Christian language, but then it veers away from traditional Christian theology.
Yeah, it's like they're using the familiar language of Christianity as a bridge to a totally new perspective on spirituality.
I like that bridge to a new perspective. Okay, so imagine if all your challenges, everything you go through, even the really tough stuff, was actually an opportunity to learn about love.
Okay.
That's kind of what A Course in Miracles is all about, showing you how to shift your perception to see love, even when things feel really unloving.
Yeah. One of the core concepts that's pretty mind-bending is that everything we experience is either an expression of love or a call for love disguised as fear.
Okay.
But then it takes it a step further and suggests that fear itself is actually an illusion.
Whoa, hold on. Fear is an illusion? How does that even work?
Well, it uses this line, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, herein lies the peace of God.
So anything that can be threatened or destroyed isn't ultimately real. So it's like it flips how we usually think about the world, right?
Absolutely. It really does.
Yeah.
And that ties into how the Course defines miracles.
Okay.
Because we typically think of miracles as these supernatural events that kind of break the laws of nature.
Yep.
But A Course in Miracles says no miracles actually shifts in perception,
Interesting.
and specifically moving from fear to love.
So it's not about something external changing, but about how we see things.
Exactly. It's a pretty big reframe.
It is. So how is the course actually structured?
It's broken down into 3 parts. You've got the text, which kind of lays out all the main concepts and ideas. Then there's the workbook with 365 daily lessons.
Whoa, 365.
A lot. Yeah. And then a manual for teachers.
365 lessons. That's a big commitment.
It is. And the course actually says it's a required course.
Really?
But the timing of when we engage with it is voluntary.
Okay.
It's almost like it's saying we're all going to learn these lessons eventually one way or another.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. So if it's not teaching traditional religion, what's the point of this required course?
Well, it's very clear that it's not trying to teach you the meaning of love, because it says that's beyond human comprehension. Instead, it focuses on removing what it calls the blocks to the awareness of love's presence that we already have inside us.
So the love's already there, we just have to learn to see it.
Yeah, that's the idea.
It's almost like it's saying love isn't something you have to earn or achieve, it's already there.
Right.
But it's our own perceptions that stop us from experiencing it.
Exactly. Think of it this way. It's not about stuffing your head with new information. It's about unlearning all the misconceptions that are keeping you trapped in fear.
I like that.
And that leads into another big theme in the course, which is forgiveness.
Forgiveness. It's a pretty straightforward idea on the surface, but gets complicated quickly, right?
It does. And A Course in Miracles has a very specific definition. It defines forgiveness as recognizing that our anger and hurt actually come from our misperceptions,
Okay.
not necessarily from the other person's actions.
So you're saying when I'm upset with somebody, it's actually my interpretation of what happened, not necessarily what actually happened.
Exactly. The Course emphasizes over and over again that our perceptions shape our reality.
Okay.
And it's not saying that somebody didn't do something that hurt you, but it is saying your reaction to it is based on your own interpretation, and that might not be the whole truth.
Wow. So it's like realizing our reality is actually shaped by our own perceptions, which could be totally off.
Absolutely.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
It's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? That idea that we're reacting to our interpretation of reality.
It is.
But not actual reality.
Yeah, and it really challenges us to take responsibility for how we experience the world.
Okay.
So then the question is, how do we actually change those perceptions? And that's where those 365 daily lessons in the workbook come in.
Oh, yeah.
They're designed to guide you step by step to help you shift from fear to love.
So it's not enough to just like read the text and get the concepts.
Right.
You have to actually put them into practice.
Exactly. A Course in Miracles really stresses that you don't have to believe in the teachings to benefit from them. It's more about experiencing it.
Okay.
The invitations is to experiment with the exercises and just see what happens in your own life.
No, it takes the pressure off. You know, like I don't have to believe everything.
Right.
I can just try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, and see if it works for you.
Okay. What are some of those exercises like?
Well, we talked about that one where you look at your surroundings and you acknowledge that nothing you see inherently has meaning, right?
Uh-huh.
That's a great way to start questioning all those automatic assumptions that we make.
Yeah, it's like realizing we're the ones who are giving meaning to things.
Exactly.
We're telling ourselves stories and we think it's the truth, but it's just our own baggage.
Right. It's our past experiences and our beliefs that are shaping how we see things.
Exactly.
And then another exercise focuses on forgiveness.
Okay.
It asks you to think about someone you're holding a grudge against and challenges you to see them with love.
Oh, wow.
And it encourages you to recognize that whatever they did, even if it was hurtful, probably came from their own fear or pain, just like your own does.
It's so easy to get caught up in judging people, though.
It is.
Like it's their fault that I'm unhappy.
It is easy to fall into that trap,
Yeah.
but A Course in Miracles reminds us that everyone is doing the best they can with the understanding they have at that moment.
That includes us, too, right?
Yeah, and it's not about excusing bad behavior, but it's about cultivating compassion and trying to understand where they're coming from.
So it's like remembering that we're all connected in a way?
Yes, we're all in this together.
Okay, I can see that.
And this might sound a little strange, but the Course suggests that we're actually afraid of our own potential for love.
Yeah, what? Afraid of love.
Yeah, it sounds kind of counterintuitive, right? But think about it. We've been taught that love makes us vulnerable,
Okay.
that it opens us up to pain and disappointment.
Yeah.
So we build up all these walls to protect ourselves from getting hurt, but then we end up blocking out all the good stuff too.
That makes sense. It's like we're so scared of getting hurt that we end up isolating ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the question becomes, what are you afraid of letting in?
Yeah. What would it be like to just embrace love without holding back?
That's something for everyone to think about.
It is. And that leads into another big idea that we're actually afraid of our own divine nature.
Right.
Afraid of our divinity. That's a new one. What does that even mean?
Well, A Course in Miracles suggests that we're all these divine beings connected to this source of love and power that's bigger than all of us.
Okay.
But we've been told that we're limited and unworthy. So we create this ego, this limited sense of self, to protect ourselves from that truth.
So it's like we're scared of our own greatness.
Yeah, and the Course says this ego, this false self, is based on fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of rejection, fear of failure,
Yeah.
all those fears that tell us we're not good enough.
Right.
And so A Course in Miracles is inviting us to question all those fears,
Okay.
to see them as illusions,
Yeah.
and step into the truth of who we really are.
Which is...
Beings capable of love and connection and incredible things.
But isn't that kind of terrifying to let go of all the ways we protect ourselves?
It can be. But the Course also assures us that we're not alone on this journey. There's something bigger than us,
So...
a loving presence that's always there to guide and support us.
But where do we start? How do we actually do that?
Well, one powerful tool that the Course gives us is forgiveness.
Okay.
And remember, forgiveness in this context means recognizing that all those grudges come from our misperceptions.
Yeah.
When we hold on to resentment and anger, we're basically saying that we're separate from that source of love,
Right.
from our own divine nature.
So by forgiving ourselves and other people, we're reconnecting with that source of love.
Exactly. It's an act of healing. It lets you release the past and open yourself up to experiencing love more fully right now.
Okay, I'm starting to see how forgiveness can be such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Not just in relationships, but in our relationship with ourselves and with, like, the universe even.
Exactly. It's not about pretending everything's okay when it's not.
Right.
It's about recognizing that everyone, including you, is doing the best they can with what they know at that moment.
Yeah.
And that understanding is often limited by fear and
Yeah.
all those things we've learned in the past.
So it's like we're all works in progress.
Yeah. And we all have the potential to grow and heal.
So forgiveness is the key to unlocking that potential.
It's one of the keys.
It lets us experience our true selves more fully.
Exactly. But when we practice this radical kind of forgiveness, we open up to experiencing the world in a whole new way.
Okay, I like that. But let's be real. A Course in Miracles isn't exactly easy.
Yeah.
It makes you question everything you think you know about yourself and the world.
Right. It's definitely challenging.
But is it worth it?
It is. It's incredibly rewarding. The insights and transformations you can have are definitely worth the effort.
Okay, so if someone is curious about A Course in Miracles, where should they start?
I'd say approach it with an open mind and be willing to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to believe everything right away. Just try the exercises, see what resonates with you,
Okay.
and notice how your perspective might be shifting. And you don't have to do it alone either. There are tons of people studying and practicing this stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, both online and in person.
So it sounds like A Course in Miracles is a really powerful path for anyone looking to understand themselves and the world better.
It is. And the best thing about it is that it's open to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter your background or beliefs.
It's like a reminder that we all have the potential to experience love and peace and joy.
Yes, and that those things aren't something you have to earn.
Yeah.
They're already inside you, just waiting to be discovered.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is, especially when we're struggling or feeling lost.
Yeah. So even though A Course in Miracles can be tough, it's a message of hope and possibility.
It reminds us that we have the power to choose love over fear.
Oh.
And to heal our relationships and create a more peaceful and joyful world.
And that's something we all need a little more of.
It definitely...
It's pretty wild, right? Like A Course in Miracles is basically saying, what if everything you thought you knew about reality was just wrong?
Yeah, it really is a radical shift of perspective.
It says love is the only truth and fear is an illusion. That's a lot to process.
It is. It shakes up all those deep-seated beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, though, what would it be like to actually see the world through that lens?
Right.
To see love everywhere, even when things are really rough.
That's where the daily practice comes in.
Wow.
It's not just about understanding the concepts. It's about developing a whole new way of seeing and reacting to everything.
So basically changing our habits.
Yeah. Those ingrained thought patterns and behaviors.
Yeah.
And like with any habit, it takes time and effort, and you have to keep showing up consistently.
Right. It's not going to happen overnight.
Definitely not. A Course in Miracles really emphasizes that you have to choose love over fear every chance you get, no matter how small.
Can you give me an example? Like, what does that actually look like in real life?
Okay, so imagine you're stuck in traffic, totally late for something important and getting super frustrated.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
From a fear-based perspective, you might see all the other drivers as like obstacles in your way.
Oh, yes. They're all out to get me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But from a love-based perspective, you might see them as fellow travelers, just trying to get somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Each with their own journey and their own stuff going on.
I like that. It's like choosing to see the good in people, even when they're driving you nuts.
Exactly. And even if you can't, like, force yourself to feel compassion right then and there,
Yeah.
you can still make the choice to be kind.
Right?
Like not laying on the horn or giving everyone the finger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even see it as a chance to practice forgiveness or have a little laugh about it.
It's crazy how just changing how you look at things can totally change how you feel.
That's the power of it. It rewires your brain to see love even in tough situations.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Exactly. It becomes more natural.
So it's like A Course in Miracles helps you become the kind of person who can stay centered and loving even when things around you are falling apart.
That's a great way to put it.
And that's open to anyone.
Yeah. Anyone who's willing to do the work.
It's not about being religious or spiritual in the traditional sense.
Not at all. It's about recognizing that love has the power to heal and transform our lives.
It's really interesting that A Course in Miracles has been around for so long and people are still drawn to it today.
Yeah. It was published in 1976.
Why do you think it's so timeless?
I think it speaks to this deep desire that so many of us have.
Okay.
To feel connected and find meaning and make the world a better place.
Yeah, I can see that.
And A Course in Miracles doesn't just say, hey, it wouldn't be nice if things were different.
Right.
It actually gives you the tools to make it happen.
It's like taking all that good energy and putting it into action.
Exactly. It's like we don't have to wait for someone else to fix things.
Right.
We can start with ourselves.
And choose love over fear.
Yes, in every moment.
So A Course in Miracles is offering us this choice to believe that love is stronger than fear.
Yes.
That we can heal and become the best versions of ourselves.
And that we can actually make a difference in the world.
Well, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So what will you choose?
Just